This is my video about the little bivouac trip in Nepal. I hope you enjoy the video. I go for bivouac flying again, leaving this nice place here where I stayed the last week. And now I'm gonna go this direction. First I have to take off. This is bivouac flying at its extreme. A 6-day solo paragliding journey with no set route, only one goal in mind: reaching the high peaks of the Annapurna range. The past week I was flying in Sirkot locally. I made a flight every day, so I know the area around very well. Takeoff is quite late because it's winter, it's beginning of January, so normal flight hours are between 3.5 and 4 hours, maximum 5 hours. Paragliding is freedom, but bivouac flying? That's a whole other level. During my week in Sirkot, I learned about the local conditions. It's a beautiful sight, but flying hours are short this time of the year. By mid-afternoon, thermals weaken and day's opportunities quickly fade. Flying north, I focused on gaining altitude. The higher I stayed, the more flexibility I'd have for the day's journey. I continue to the next ridge. Now it's time to watch out for a top landing, and I already see something, but then I continue a little further because it's higher. Perfectly just below cloud base, and I top land there on a huge field. Here you can see the landing. Quite good, very flat area. There is wood around everywhere for cooking. Perfect spot for today. At some point I decide to take off. I think it's 10:30 or something. Yeah, now day 2, the adventure really begins. I have no idea where to fly. I just know I want to go north into the big mountains, and day looks quite hard. There are some clouds, but they're just on my height or even a little lower. This last crossing I am about to bomb out, so I can't find any lift anymore. I can keep my height here a little bit, but doesn't go up anymore. So I decide to land as high as possible somewhere here. I land then afterwards just against the wind very smoothly here on this rice field. It's very steep, but it's okay, and I managed to touch down. Just after landing, many people, the whole village comes, and children even walk up with me to the pass. There's more wind. As soon as I'm up, I decide to take off again on the same day. It is 3 o'clock, very late already for the day because 5 o'clock the sun sets.
because no matter how skilled or prepared you are, the air simply doesn't cooperate.
Yeah.
Landing in remote Nepal often means meeting locals, and this was no exception. Children came running, curious and excited. Their smiles and laughter reminded me of the joy of flying in such unique and welcoming landscapes.
One more try.
Until then, nope, and nope, and
You wanna help me?
and nope, definitely nope, and nope, nope, and nope, probably never,
Slow.
oh no.
Okay. Good.
I decide to take off here because tomorrow morning it won't be a good takeoff here on the other side, and so I take off, I take my chances, and fortunately it works. I can manage to climb on the next ridge. First it takes a lot of patience, but then finally I get some height. The wind gets very strong. I barely move forward. I get up very high, blown up very high by the wind, and then I make the next crossing. The only thing I want now is to find some spot where I can land. There are some little houses, and the local people come to me to welcome me as soon as I land. I put up my tent here, and tomorrow morning I try to climb from here.
Down there is where I slept last night.
And it's going up. Yoo-hoo!
It's incredible to look back and see the spot where I camped. It's just a tiny point against this vast landscape, but for the night it was my home. This is what makes bivouac flying so special. Every landing spot feels like an achievement, and every morning brings the uncertainty of whether it was the right decision to land there and if I can climb out again. It was a risky choice to land so low, but sometimes you just gotta trust your instincts. Flying over valleys full of trees is an experience that's both breathtaking and nerve-wracking. The beauty of the endless green below, stretching in every direction, is mesmerizing, like a living, breathing sea of nature. But that beauty hides a sense of unease. With no clear landing zones in sight, I have to trust in my ability to find the next thermal.
So, I just landed here directly and yeah, did 40 little something kilometers. Quite a nice flight. Came from there all the way to here, close by Dhaulagiri. Very, very nice mountains here. Now in the other direction is all clouds. Here it's completely blue, and in the other direction it's full of clouds. And I don't know where I can land, so I landed here. It's quite still early, it's only 2:30, but I think I'm gonna spend the night here and then fly tomorrow further. So yeah, build up the tent later and enjoy the day. Wow! Yoo-hoo! Ah, så geil! Så geil! Så geil! Så geil! Så geil! Wow! Wow! Holy shit! So, next morning, day 4. For breakfast was sweet rice. That's quite nice. Cooked there. And now thinking what to do because here the clouds are very low. Day 4, ready to take off, but the wind is gone. Like half an hour ago there was a good wind here, but now it's not the best anymore. And yeah, clouds are still quite low. I'm way over cloud base, but let's see, maybe I can fly over it. Otherwise, let's try. Let's wait for a wind. Let's try. Oh. No, shit.
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen. I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen. I don't think so. No, 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 no. Maybe someday you'll have it your way. Maybe someday it'll all work out. Until then, nope, a nope, a nope, a nope, definitely nope, a nope, nope, a nope. Probably never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen. Oh no.
Aha! takeoff and fighting here. Ja, das war ein Misserfolg. That was no success. I landed here in this tiny field with huge rocks around, but landed safely. And takeoff was up there somewhere, and 3 hours later I landed here. Not even glide ratio 5, even less. What the fuck. I lost my glove on takeoff, I think, or I hope at takeoff and not somewhere in the air. So I'm going back to try and find my glove. So yesterday was quite a day, special day. I took off, then was in the air for 3 hours, and now it's the next morning. And I'm at the exact same spot as yesterday. The story behind it is that after takeoff, like half an hour after takeoff, I realized that I lost my glove. And then also just right after takeoff, I got flashed down very hard and then ended up like a few hundred meters below takeoff, and there was an inversion, and I was scratching around for 3 hours. And when I realized that I lost my glove, I tried to come back to takeoff, but didn't manage. But after 3 hours, I luckily managed to top land or land in the middle, quite near to the takeoff. So then I hiked up 500 height meters, and was actually easier than I thought. The last part was a bit of climbing, but it was okay. And I actually found my glove again. I was super happy about that. And so yeah, it was a long flight, stuck in the inversion, but still quite a good day because I have my glove again and I'm not down in the valley, but now even up at takeoff again. So let's see if today is any better. I hope the cloud base is a bit higher, and yeah, let's hope. Now sun is just about to rise. I slept way enough, like it's dark for 12 hours, so yeah, probably 10 hours of sleep. And happy to start the day. Okay.
be close. I hope I make it over the clouds. Otherwise, I'm gonna be fucked. It's working a little bit. Not sure yet, not safe. Very fucking low. Slowly, slowly, but it's a fight. Woo! Could have gone higher, but I felt it was enough. Now I feel good again, but in the thermal it was quite heavy. Holy shit. Woo. Crazy ass valley. Holy shit. So this is definitely the tiniest spot I've ever built up my tent. Like no space at all. But I was just too lazy to walk, for example, over there or down to find some better spot, and it's actually good. It's flat, and yeah, I just landed down here, quite steep, but the wind was perfect, so I had a perfect soft landing. Couldn't be better. And yeah, now I'm sleeping here and continuing. Today was amazing day. I was over 6,000 the first time. Like did 70 kilometers. First quite low, quite slow. There's always, as you see, this inversion. I was always above. I managed to stay above, but there's a huge inversion all around. But yeah, amazing. Turned out amazing after a difficult start. Searching for water, didn't find any, but ice collecting.
On the final day, though it's not shown in the video, I took off hoping for one last great flight. But the conditions weren't in my favor. I found myself scratching low, struggling to climb and fighting for survival. Then, when I finally got a bit higher, I decided to do the next valley crossing, well knowing what a gamble it would be. As I made it across, it already looked like I'm not gonna make it, and then it came true. I couldn't find any thermals on the other side and had to fly down all the way into the valley. I then decided to stop my adventure here because it just felt right. I had enough of the stress, the uncertainty and the constant challenges. I was running low on food and energy, and my motivation to hike up for another takeoff 2000 height meters was just not there either. I'll be back though, better prepared, ready for more. Maybe not now, but sometime. Until then,
Yoo-hoo!